Hello, everybody, and good Sunday, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to the last day of Mystery Week here in Link to the Past Randomizer League. In this open league today, we have 16-bit nerds versus Link Finds a Way, which is personally my favorite team name there is. And we've got this standard start here going in. Everything else we'll just have to figure out when we get there. I'm coming here today together with Zethno. How you doing, Zethno?
I'm doing okay.
Do you have any expectations or any predictions you want to make for this match?
Oh, that is a good question. I think from the loading screen we know there isn't an enemizer, so that's off the table. Trying to remember the weights. Well, does that include the boss shuffle? I can't remember.
Yes, that includes the boss shuffle. So we already know no boss shuffle, no overworld shuffle. We also know it's not entrance randomizer because the players did start with both boots and flute, which can only happen if it's either Triforce Hunt or normal. But of course, since there's no counter, there is no Triforce Hunt. That's pretty much what we know at this point, I think.
Well, the seeds like to put at least one item somewhere interesting, so it'll be I'm curious to find out what it is. If it's the usual ice rod or if it's something else today.
I was about to say, I hope it's not another ice rod hunt. We have so many of those, and while they can be interesting sometimes, having some variation does, of course. Variation is the spice of life, they say.
Yeah, as the players are just going through the normal standard start here, there's not much to say about what they're doing, unfortunately.
I also didn't really see anything about the keys, so I can't really see if any of the keys are shuffled or not. Because, of course, while they will be here in standard start, there will be a message that pops up. So big keys are not shuffled.
No big key, but the small keys are.
Alright, small keys. So there must have been a message in that first chest that I missed. Good to know.
Well, I'm looking, and even we have a Skull Woods key and a Turtle Rock key already, so.
As well as a bow, which is of course a very nice starting weapon. As far as if you have choices, I think that's one of the ones that's pretty much up there, because it also unlocks a couple of things.
It's always nice to have the bow, and it's just also a good weapon to have all around to help through the early game.
I've personally never liked it when I have to hunt for a bow just to be able to clear Palace of Darkness or Eastern Palace for that matter. I always worry that I missed it somewhere obvious.
Well, yeah, that's true too, because now, well, for these runners, all of Eastern is open. Logically, they still need that fire source, but I think these players are likely going to ignore that because Eastern is one of the first dark rooms most people learn.
It makes sense since the dark room and the bow are the only two things that block your way. Being able to do that as soon as you get that bow, it can put you ahead compared to an enemy that may not be able to do this. But if, as you said, these runners, everybody in these leagues have trained these things to be able to do that. And as chat said, yes, the flute is indeed inactive because it is a standard start. If it's open, the flute starts activated, but it starts here inactive because otherwise you could create rain state soft locks. And, well, that's no fun for anyone.
Yeah, let's hope there are no soft locks today. That would be good. We can hope for some interesting locations or items from the game, but not that.
And as Dataplan is answering our questions in chat, indeed, it can't be entrance randomizer because the starting items are not compatible with the thing that creates the random entrances. We get a hook shot for both players in the back of escape, as well as we see that maps are not randomized.
Well, with hookshot and bow, this is going to be interesting to see where the players go.
As well as the flute, a lot of Death Mountain is available already.
Yeah, that's probably a good play considering how many items are up there. I'd say they can get the save and quit point too, but with flute, it's not that important at this point in the game.
Absolutely right. Seeing Korivain here making his way towards Kakariko, but going to do the usual checks you do with boots, namely these Bonk Rocks, and probably as well in the woods. And Eykir follows right after. They're very much in sync.
Well, it's not swordless.
And there was a sigh of disappointment going through the crowd as they see that sword appear.
But a big sigh of relief from the runners, I think. I know at least one of the runners was mentioning that they did not want a swordless seat today.
Who can blame him? And that triple giving red rupees, that's a very nice triple.
Yeah, always nice. Arrows. Those are good for our early bow.
And just a big 20 on the ledge, I think. From the very bottom I was able to see. If anybody in chat wants to correct me on that, but I think I saw it correctly.
Yeah, I missed it, so... they're going to have a little bit of bomb management here. Eykir has only one at the moment.
Small key to Misery Mire in the woods. And you're right, maybe, well, there's a good chance he'll pick up some extra rupees and he can maybe then buy himself some bombs in Kakariko itself.
Yep. There's also the bomb, the shed in the bottom corner, the bombable shed that you can get a whole bunch of bombs.
I have a question. Eykir seems to be going into places like the thief shop there and as well as the lumberjack huts. Any reason why he would be doing that?
I wonder if he was just checking for some of the entrance randomizer or something else. You can get, like, even with a few places you go into, you could check one or two entrances and they can be vanilla, so he's just making sure the game isn't faking him out.
Yeah, of course we know. I don't know how well informed the players are about weights, but we already know it can't be entrance randomizer because of that starting boots and that starting flute. But we don't know if he is sure about that either.
Yeah, that's something really easy to forget, especially as you're playing, you're in a higher pressure situation, you don't want to start remembering one of the rules wrong and just accidentally forgetting and not checking entrances.
But what you said about checking multiple doors just to make sure it's not, that it is indeed random or not, makes sense because one of the very first run we saw this week in the Open League had a vanilla sanctuary, a vanilla lumberjack ledge, but then suddenly they dropped in on Ganon in the forest.
Yeah.
Well is paying off. We've got red cane there, we've got a lantern there, and there was one other item, a bottle with a bee in it. Or was that in the back of Blind's hut?
Either way, they can do Sick Kid, which is nice while they're here.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that scratched off, otherwise you're... well, it's not too bad if you miss it, because there's multiple reasons to come back to Kakariko with the whole Smith chain, hammer pegs, bat and such, and you can just grab it when you come back for that.
Yeah, as chat's pointing out too, that we still don't know if this is a hard or an expert pool quite yet.
Yeah, we saw the green 20.
Oh, we did see a green 20. I didn't know
green
anything one. So we know it's at least hard then.
Oh, I thought there was one green 20 if it was normal.
I thought it has to replace something, so something has to have been taken out. So what's taken out in normal? I didn't think anything was.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the amount that we need to see.
Chat's right. It could be we got the flute or the boots. They're probably taken out of the pool, so it could be that.
That is absolutely right. So there could be 220s even in normal. So we'll have to wait and see if it's hard or expert. In the meantime, players picking up some hearts and some bombs. Nothing really noteworthy, but we're getting some small divergence. Not really divergence. I guess Eykir skipped the well because he did not have the bombs for it.
And library has arrows.
Why? That doesn't belong in the library.
Well, I mean, it's better than having something like the fire rod in there. That just seems like a hazard.
Yeah, well, they already have a fire source. They don't need another. So let's keep that away for now. We'll probably eventually do come around to getting that fire rod. So many places that do actually need it, and there's a little shield on the race game. And Eykir is apparently a creep, as that NPC was so happy to tell us.
Yeah. Getting that lovely text box to slow you down for a few seconds.
Ooh, Korivain just does not get the hook shot pull into the chest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And seems like Eykir will follow right up and do the same thing.
Yeah, they're very much just doing the exact same path. Oh, but with the hook shot.
He got it. Yeah, I only learned about that trick very recently myself by watching these races. You learn so much just from watching these guys. But of course, it's not one that you can do very often because how often do you have the hookshot when you come and check these places?
That's very true. But at least it gives you higher odds because you can do it with a mirror and you can do it with a hookshot. So if you get one of either item.
And Mini Muller
Speaking of the mirror.
And the ever important small key to Swamp Palace. Having that early, not having to look for that later is definitely. I mean, they might not end up needing it, but it's definitely something that will not be weighing on their minds.
Yeah, well, yep, they know they can get through that whole dungeon now once they find the flippers.
So we have a mirror, we have a lot of access with the hook shots. We have a fire source, the lamp of all things, so no dark rooms are going to be challenging at all. So now we just need to get into the dark world.
Yeah, so for that we're looking for gloves and a hammer, or at least a better sword, or speaking of flippers, or a cape. I guess they're not fake flippering today.
That puts everything in logic for Zora domain. I didn't see, did Korivain set up a water walk? I see that he's just running now, but it's you can still set up a water walk even with flippers just to do this faster, but of course with the flute.
Yeah, I mean, a water walk is a lot faster than swimming, so that can be with boots. Oh, you need boots for it. But... I think we're having an issue with one of the streams.
And Korivain has frozen on us. We'll get this sorted immediately. In the meantime, we can follow on Eykir. Eykir going off to Zora's domain right away, while it looked like Korivain was going to go check Hobo, so I'm interested to find out what he actually found there.
A little bit of road divergence. It's nice to see for these. There's the Moon Pearl.
All right, now we just need gloves and a hammer, or 2 gloves. Oh, and Korivain has made his way into Zora's domain as well. So did he check Hobo? Did he not? I don't know.
We'll find out at some point, but it is a heart on the ledge, so both runners opting not to go for it.
Having enough money for Zora, Big Zora at this point is pretty rare, and yeah, it makes sense. That's very far out of the way just for a heart.
Yeah. I guess if they could do Zora, they might, depending on how comfortable the runners are on 4 hearts, they might have gotten it, but it's just for the heart. That is a long way to go.
I think both these players would have skipped that even if they were at Big Zora. It's easily another 15-20 seconds. There Korivain goes to the hobo, so now so we know he didn't go there earlier, but wasn't really worth it. 2 small keys to Turtle Rock and the gloves in Saha's closet.
Yeah, so this seed is being really nice. I think we're mostly probably hoping for the hammer. The runners are hoping for a hammer sometime soon to really unlock the rest of the world.
Well, Korivain still needs at least 1 glove in addition to the hammer to get the Dark World, while Eykir just needs that the hammer now. Both players getting the old man simultaneously. So we'll see what he gives. Now, short thing about these teams, we have 16-bit nerds and Link finds a way. In their division, 16-bit nerds are doing very, very well. They are in the Tower of Hera division, where they are tied for. They are in first place, tied. But there's another team right behind them, so these matches are all very important to them, as only the top 2 teams go off into the playoffs. Eykir goes inside of Spectacle Rock. They both saw that key there. Korivain deciding I'll pick that up later. So Zetno, can you tell me what else do we know? What else happens in hard and in expert? What else is missing?
I forget the exact difference between them. I know that we're gonna have less swords either way and less males either way. I think it's Master Sword only on expert and it's tempered on hard.
I've also heard that half magic is missing in at least one of them.
Oh yeah.
But maybe in both. I'm not familiar with that specifically. We're getting a Hera bot here with hook speed from Korivain. Having a little trouble getting it.
There he goes.
And he's got it. So somebody in chat tells us that half magic is not missing. So wherever I heard it, they were apparently wrong. So Eykir finds a small key to Tower of Hera in the Paradox Cave, so he will be able to check the basement. Will he though? I definitely expect him to check out the rest of the dungeon first to see what he all gets, so that he can.
There's a mid.
Second mids.
Sorry, but
No. Yeah, it's second mids for Eykir with no mids for Korivain. But like I was saying, I definitely expect Eykir to clear out the entirety of the above of Tower of Hera to make sure that he gets as many items without having to do that basement, and if he can skip it, he definitely will. I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. That room in the basement takes such a long time, and in a race situation, it just feels bad to be sitting. Oh, there's the hammer. The hammer is sitting on floating island.
Well, he can get it. He has Dark World access right there, so he's going to go through Spiral Cave and make his way. And this is actually going to be a bit of a time gain for Eykir, having done Saha's Closet, getting that first glove. He can check Dark Death Mountain here entirely. Well, he might not be able to do Spy Cave, of course, because he does not have Blue Cane nor Cape.
Yeah, and one of those bottles I think only has. I don't remember what those bottles have, but both of them are for sure not health, because one of them was a B.
One is a B.
So with one bottle, I don't think he can make it at 5 hearts.
And Korivain is going to have to spend time coming back later to get these things, because he does not have that second glove to get into the Dark World.
Yeah, that could make a pretty big difference between the runners.
And this time it's Eykir that doesn't quite get the hook shot and has to make his way around. I didn't quite count items in the Tower of Hera. Did anybody else see the items? How many items there were there?
That's a good question. Hopefully someone in chat can help us.
Tower of Hera normally has 2 items. Of course, with the small key being somewhere else, there will be a total of 3 items there.
Oh, and there's a map check for us.
Okay, so we've got green pendant in Misery Mire with red pendant in Swamp Palace, and 5 and 6 crystals are in Thieves Town and Skull Woods.
That means we're gonna need that fire rod to check Pyramid Fairy. I think the fire rod's the biggest thing holding us back now from what we've seen between the 2 runners.
There's a Master Sword for Eykir in Hookshot Cave, and another bottle with health. That might allow him to do Spike Cave.
It's close. I don't know how many hearts exactly you need for that.
Oh yeah, he's still only down to 6 hearts. That's not high. And we saw what the second ball contained on Korivain's screen. It's a green goo, so only magic refill. So that's not gonna help with Spike Cave.
Oh yeah. I'm just looking at the timer here. We're 22 minutes into the seed, and we've got a lot of items.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which makes me think, what's that one item gonna be that's hiding from us?
Well, it might just be the Fire Rod after all. Or maybe an Ice Rod hunt after all. But of course, we don't know what the goal is just yet. I hope we'll find out soon, as Eykir has gone into the Dark World with access to the Eastern Dark World. Of course, Hype Cave comes first.
Chat making a good point. He didn't check what the requirements are for GT.
While he did check what that bombs was required for Turtle Rock, and picking up bombs, as I said, in Hype Cave, also another 20 rupees, so I'm fairly certain that we're at least hard mode. Expert still a possibility. Korivain now making his way here into Sal's closet. He does not have the hammer, but I'm slightly surprised he doesn't still go maybe dip Palace, because he could probably clear Eastern. Actually, is Eastern a pendant? I actually don't know.
Well, I think we're getting a goal check over here.
Yes. While Korivain does pick up his second glove there. 5 crystals to beat Ganon, which means we have to go through Ganon's tower. We just don't know how many crystals we need for that. So it's 5x beat Ganon. Oh no, X5 beat Ganon.
Yeah, I think now even more the fact that he didn't check the crystal entrances on GT could be a problem.
Yeah, he could be thinking that right now, like, oh damn, why didn't I do that while I was there?
Oh yeah, for sure. He'll probably at this point try to get 5 crystals, and if he's up there, maybe when he does Turtle Rock, or if he does Turtle Rock, he'll go over and check it.
Korivain, having found that second glove, is now making his way, getting dead rocked all over the place, but making his way up to the mountain so he can make those checks. So he'll find his hammer soon enough. He, of course, going there because he knows the hammer is there, but takes a death. Those dead rocks and cabbages were just all over him.
Dead rocks are not fun. I don't think I know of a player that likes dead rocks.
And in the meantime, we have Eykir going into Eastern Palace.
Let's see what this does. We still don't know if this is a crystal or not.
Yeah, the map check must have happened while we were setting up the stream, because we have a small delay setting that up completely. Apologies for that, but maybe if somebody in chat saw it on a personal stream, feel free to inform us so that we can know as well.
If we see him heading towards the boss, we'll know that it was a crystal. Unless, actually, he could be going for the item anyways. Since he's here, not to leave one location off at the boss, it's not worth the time sink if he had to come back.
So how many items has he already picked up? I saw a piece of heart there. That's 1. There's going to be a total of 4 items. No, so total of 3 items in here. Because of course there's no small keys in here that come from chests. Alright, so thank you, chats. So we have Eastern Palace set as a crystal and Desert Palace as a pendant, so that we also know Tower of Hera. We saw that was a crystal when it was cleared, of course. Actually, I see on the tracker that Tower of Hera is not lit up for Eykir but he did not clear. He ended up getting out of there early, didn't he? Or did I just miss him clearing it?
I think I was looking at the other stream at that moment.
And Korivain picking up his hammer now. So going for that double play now, probably Palace of Darkness into Eastern Palace, since both are full clearable.
It's always nice to be able to do item or 2 dungeons so close to each other together.
Thank you again, chat. So, actually, thank you, Will. He's restreaming for us. Thank you very much for doing that. So that which allows these players to be shown and allows us to commentate directly. Wouldn't be able to do it without you, buddy. And chat also pointing out that indeed Korivain also didn't check out Ganon's tower to see how much he needed to get in there.
I'm sure when he sees the goal again, he's going to be thinking, oh, I really should have checked that. Or more so when he sees the pit is closed. If there is a chance that the pit had been already open, so these runners wouldn't have to do GT, but we didn't get that today.
That's not guaranteed, though. Of course, they might still have to do GT, because who knows? Maybe the fire rod is in there.
Oh yeah, right up at the top after Moldor.
Although, with it only being 5 crystals, having a quick look, the fire rod I don't think it's required. Only a fire source, which they of course already have with the lamp.
That's true, but we could have something like the medallion for Meyer could be sitting in the fire rod lock chest in Turtle Rock. So we don't know quite yet if it is or isn't. You're right that I think it's likely not, but
yeah, indeed, like Chad is saying, there's enough dungeons that are clearable without fire rod, with only needing 5 crystals. So if it was fast Ganon, they wouldn't even have to enter Ganon's tower to find a fire rod, for example. Going over that real quickly, so we have Tower of Hera clearable, already done on Korivain's side. We have Eastern Palace clearable, already done on Eykir's side. And then Palace of Darkness clearable, as Eykir is... Wait, no, he got out again. What's going on here?
it's a good question. We're also getting our first catfish check, I think.
He's low on keys, that's right. He only has 1 key, small key, and Palace of Darkness does require quite a few keys.
We've been thinking about all the items, we haven't been thinking, and there's the fire rod! So, we're gonna be key hunting, right? That's gonna be the story of this game?
So, of course, Korivain using the mirror to go over to Zora. He does have the money, so he's not gonna orphan that that check. Because if that's something important, you don't really want to go back there unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, it's out of the way, and it's really easy to forget if later in the seed if you haven't done it, because players tend to do it earlier.
Just some love. Worth it? I don't think so.
And look, he's gonna get the other heart as well.
Absolutely, that surprised me a little bit.
A little bit of safety. He's probably realized that he's on either heart or expert pool, and he's not gonna get another mail upgrade.
That's fair, of course. With Greenmail, Ganon Hugs deal 8 hearts of damage. It can go over so quickly.
And the expert pool only has 8 hearts, so he may be just looking to get anything he can.
Seeing Smith Chain here from Eykir. Korivain, I don't really know where he's going. Is there still a check that he hasn't done on Dark Death Mountain?
Unless he didn't do Super Bunny, but he could just be going to check the GT.
Well, he's in the light world, so good luck with that. There's half magic in Hammerstomp. Oh no, he's going to Turtle Rock.
Well, you can go from here over to check
he's gonna go check GT from here. That feels like a lot of time to just check that. So I think he'll probably dip into Turtle Rock anyway.
Well, he has the medallion, so he can definitely do that. And he has both Fire Rod and he has 3 keys. That should be enough.
Yeah, he can check a lot, definitely. Oh, darn it! I missed what the Smiths gave.
Yep.
And so he did not end up going into Turtle Rock, but takes a death from that Lionel that was just blocking his path completely.
Lionel's another really fun enemy. There are a lot of great enemies on Death Mountain, and Smith's looks like it was Tempered Sword. So we know we're not on Expert Item Pool. We got hard today.
And I'm fairly certain we do have indeed hard, because we've seen a bunch of 20s already. I think just enough to confirm that.
Yeah, so it looks like they will have maximum 14 hearts of health and Tempered Sword.
Is there a blue mail in hard mode?
There is not. It is green all the way across.
And yeah, it was Vanilla Smiths, but swords themselves are not vanilla. Answering chat. And just a piece of heart from that purple chest. Korivain making his way back up.
And it's a true Vanilla Smiths because they actually gave him the Tempered Sword.
Actually, in the base game, if you don't get a Tempered Sword from the Smiths, can you get a Tempered Sword from the Fairy and then a Sharpened from the Smiths? I wonder if that's possible.
It's a good question. I doubt it. I figure they just coded each sword on its own because there would be no reason for someone to get them out of order.
Korivain using his hookshot to great effect there to ignore those Lionel shots. And we need 6 crystals to enter, so it's a 6-5 beat Ganon.
Looks like we're getting 6 crystals, so that Fire Rod is required. Because I'll either need it in Skullwoods or Turtle Rock. But they have it, so that's okay.
Well, Korivain has it.
Korivain, yeah, sorry, yeah. Where? Oh, Catfish. That's an awkward location for it. I could see that being a location that doesn't get checked for quite a while. So we're seeing a Thieves Town and a Skull Woods check from our 2 runners.
And Skullwood's completely clearable for Korivain since he does have that Fire Rod. And, well, it doesn't take much for Thieves Down to be full clearable. Just, I think it takes one key to be able to get to the big chest, but that's it, I think.
Korivain not checking any chests on his way to the back.
Well, let's have a look here. Eastern Palace, clearable. Palace of Darkness, clearable. Skullwood's clearable. Thieves Town, clear. Wait, is he perhaps? Does he have all the? He doesn't have all the keys he needs, but could it be that he's in item go mode, or is he just and then just needs more keys?
No, because he doesn't have the fire rod.
No, Korivain.
Oh, Korivain. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard Thieves Town, but yeah.
Ice Rod is not required in this run because they can clear all the other crystal dungeons because they only need 6 crystals. So most likely they will be ignoring Turtle Rock if they can. And Korivain on the ever so fun Mothula fight, especially with Master Sword, a bit of an annoying fight.
Yeah, this is definitely my least favorite boss in this boss room in the game. Surprisingly, Mothula in any other dungeon is far easier to kill.
And other bosses become easier to kill in here.
I mean, I don't like pretty much when I get boss shuffle, I don't like any boss in here except maybe Moldorm, because Moldorm doesn't know how conveyors work.
And that's crystal number 2 for Korivain.
And at the same time, a blind fight completed on the other side.
And that's also crystal number 2, but 2 completely different crystals between the 2 runners.
Yeah. When you get this many items this early, you can get some pretty big route divergences.
And I'm expecting that Korivain will make his way to Thieves Town shortly.
And he'll probably pick up his tempered when he gets there.
That's actually a good question. Will he put in the time to do Smith Chain when Thieves Town's right there? Will he do it right after because he's in the neighborhood? I'm not entirely sure. Some of the choices runners have made have surprised me because, well, I don't know that much. I'm not very good at this game. I'm just talking here.
Yeah, no, we'll see. It does take some time, and you're right. He is checking the rest of Skullwood, so he is looking for the other items there. So
he definitely needs more keys still for Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, so while I don't know if he's gonna want to isolate these smiths.
Getting a graveyard, let's check in the meantime. Oh, and I've mentioned already a couple of times that Tower of Hera is not yet cleared by Eykir, but there were no important items in there as far as I remember, so he will be keeping that for the very end so that he can clear that and then instantly go into Ganon's Tower right after.
Yeah, that's a good time save, not to make that whole trip up the mountain again. Every trip up the mountain adds some time to your run.
Yet here he does go up the mountain again. Is he now gonna go into Turtle Rock to see what items he can get there?
Yeah, that could be it too.
He can't get a lot though, because he doesn't have the fire rod. Well, I say not a lot. Okay, actually, he can still get a whole bunch, but he's gonna be missing those 2 chests anyway.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be waiting on that fire rod for a while, because with how many items the game gave us, how many available checks he has, why would he go all the way over to Catfish, which is so out of the way?
Absolutely agree. His choices make sense. It's unfortunate that we, of course, know that they aren't the right ones.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's making the right decision not to go over there. But
well, yes.
Sometimes Rando does that to you.
And now we see Thieves Down from Korivain, picking up an extra heart there. We won't see much new from him, as we've also seen these checks from Eykir's side. But he'll swiftly move his way through, and if he survives the Hellway with his 3 hearts and green mail.
We're getting a check on GT. I don't think Eykir has checked the crystal requirement yet.
Indeed, I don't think so either. There he goes, he now knows.
So where to next? Well, Korivain is just clearing out Thieves Town, which we've already seen. And he's doing Tower of Hera.
Well, he's up here now anyway.
Yeah.
Initially, I would have given a slight advantage to Eykir, but of course, anything can happen. And one of those anythings did happen, and I personally would... I would say Korivain is now in the lead with just because of that Fire Rod being on Catfish.
Yeah, I think if he checks Catfish in any reasonable amount of time before he does too many checks that aren't required, he's not really that far behind, but unfortunately the question is, when will we go to Catfish? He's having a little bit of issues with this Hera pot today.
But he does get it. And to answer chat, yes, the Fire Rod is hard required. You only need 6 crystals, but do you clear Turtle Rock? Do you want to clear Skullwoods? Either one, you need Fire Rod.
But since he's doing checks in crystal dungeons right now, on the most part, he's not losing any time as he's completing them.
Especially because Korivain is doing the same dungeons and also doing all the checks. He's not go moding because he does need keys to be able to complete his respective dungeons.
Looks like we're gonna get another Tower of Hera finish now.
With Tempered Sword, of course, very easy. 1 spin, 1 slash is all it takes.
And he's down. So the question is, where will he go next?
Well, let's have a look what he has available. Ice Palace. I was about to think, looking at his items, looking at what he has available. Ice Palace is completable completely and has a lot of items. Wait, he doesn't have keys.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't have keys, so it's gonna be a little awkward.
Definitely. So I was thinking in my head, yeah, there's a lot of items in there because, of course, none of the chests will contain keys, but...
He doesn't have Fire Rods, so he has to bombos through it.
With half magic, that is, of course, not really an issue. Just costs a little bit of time standing there. And Korivain picks up his 3rd crystal in Thieves Town.
So we're still 3-3.
Halfway there.
Yep, that's for anybody that's joining us that wasn't around during the checks. It is 5 crystal slogan in, but we need 6 crystals to get into GT.
Eykir will be able to save some keys, of course, if he goes down here. He can do some tricks where he picks up some keys from mobs, but then mirror out and come back in, and then Icebreaker, which can save it, which can get him an extra key.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's just going to
do
be
you
a lot.
even-
It's going to take a lot longer than had he had them in the first place.
I'm scratching my memory now. Do you need keys if you icebreaker? Which he does fairly smoothly there. It's one of my favorite glitches because it's one of the first ones I learned.
It is definitely a fun glitch. It is pretty easy to set up. It is consistent. You just have to get on that right pixel in the first place. Also, Chad is telling us that we don't need a key. You just kind of you have to go around the long way because you can't get through this door right here.
Absolutely. So you have to either have a hook shot or a small key if you icebreaker.
No, this key you can get through. Never mind. Forgot he got one from.
Yes,
from
there are
enemy.
still some monster drops, of course.
Korivain is also in this dungeon now. Looking over to our other runner, so he's going to just be going through the same checks, likely going to go the same way.
Yeah, he also entered with no keys, but the only real difference for this dungeon is that he does have Fire Rod, but that doesn't really give him an advantage as the bombos will solve all those issues for Eykir.
It looks like Eykir's getting... It's good for Eykir because that means they're both going to be doing this the exact same speed, so he's not going to fall behind too far due to that Fire Rod.
And to answer the chat about the sword, we don't expect to see any more swords anywhere because we think this is the hard item set, which only goes up to tempered.
Yeah, and Korivain didn't check it when he was in Thieves Town, so looks like he may not get his tempered.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With so many checks available, the spit chain is right there, but it's not that far out of the way, but it does take quite a bit of time, even if you're already there.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a quick check. It's not a huge long one, something like the purple chest, but yeah.
Alright, chat's saying there's still 4 swords in the pool. Wait, does that mean you can still find 4 swords, but it still only goes up to tempered? And then it just gets replaced with a 20 if you find the sword. Okay, I get it. Korivain having some trouble there setting up the icebreaker, but he gets it. Okay, I'm learning something new. Every time I watch a race or every time I commentate a race, I learn new things. Be it new tricks, new ways of running, new routing IDs, or just how stuff works. I love it.
Oh, I agree. I've learned even routing and some tricks on how to get through some dungeons or some blocks that I've never seen.
Eykir now in the cold stare fight. Just gotta make quick work of this with his tempered. 1 down.
Probably wishing he had that fire rod, though.
Yeah, making that with Fire Rod, making a quick kill much simpler. Although I say much simpler, these guys tend to make it look simple. It really isn't all that simple.
Yeah, the number of times I've messed that up. Ah, that's where the other sword was.
Yep,
Okay.
so Korivain found the other sword.
So, they're both untempered. That's unfortunately going to put them even on speed getting through a lot of these dungeons now, though Master Sword wasn't slowing Korivain down too much.
I would say it's slowing him down about as much as Bombos not having Fire Rod is slowing down Eykir for having to cast Bombos slowly.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Of course, Korivain does have to use Bombos here because he did not have enough magic, I think, to break Golster out with the Fire Rod.
Yeah, that takes a lot more magic than you think, especially without half magic. So, where was half magic that he didn't get it?
Hammer Stump, which of course Eykir did while he was doing Spit Chain.
Yeah, so he's not going to probably get half magic. Probably means he's going to kind of want to get... He's hoping to find silvers somewhere, because no half magic and...
Well, silvers won't be a thing since this is a hard item pool.
Ah, right.
So he really hopes to find that half magic. It's not impossible to do with without half magic. Definitely if you bring potions, but it's a nice thing to have. We see Eykir now in Desert Palace after having checked Meyer's shed. There wasn't really anything in there, just some love here on the torch. Also forgot to mention, there was a small key for Palace of Darkness from Coldstair himself, so a really nice find, so that they can eventually clear that one as well. How many keys do you need to clear Palace of Darkness in Go mode? They've got 3 now. Isn't that enough?
Yeah, that should be enough. The thing is, because I think at least one of them went in and used the key, so that was the big thing, that they had to find another one.
The big key for Desert Palace was behind the small key.
Well,
But Korivain didn't pick up the small key for Desert Palace in Ice Palace.
Yes, actually our restreamer bringing up a good point. It depends on where the big key is, how many small keys you need per pod.
Absolutely. Oh, wait, no. Somebody did update our tracker did update the small key for Desert Palace on Korivain. Did he or did he not pick it up? Because chat said he skipped it. I think it was in the Ice Tea room, wasn't it? It wasn't a big chest. Okay, and Korivain skipped that one? Because I saw him go through that room very quickly indeed. So, that puts Korivain in a bit of trouble, because he doesn't want to, like, in his situation, you don't want to go back to the to Ice Palace, because that's pretty far out of your way at this point. But he does need that small key, unless he clears Turtle Rock instead of Desert Palace.
Desert Palace is a pendant.
Well, ignore everything I just said.
I was trying to think of why that would be the case, and I was going, wait.
Right. I'm just confusing myself at this point. Yep. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, it is pendant, so absolutely not needed unless it ends up having something. I don't think so. They have enough keys for Palace of Darkness, as we see Korivain now going through there with little trouble. So Korivain is going to be picking up his 5th crystal here and clearing Eastern Palace. So actually, yeah, Korivain is in full go mode, because he's clearing this. He'll clear Eastern Palace right after, giving him his 6th crystal and then going to Ganon's Tower.
This doesn't leave a lot of time to find that fire rod.
Okay, yeah, chat is pointing out that he does not have the big key, but he's making his way to that door, and something is missing.
Oh. Yeah, some rage slashes there, forgetting that he needed that key.
He does still have one small key, and with Bomb Jump, he can definitely check a couple more chests without needing a key, if he can do that. Eykir found another small key to Turtle Rock in the meantime.
I definitely get where Korivain's head is there. He's thinking he's in go mode, I have what I need, I'm just going to finish this dungeon and get to the back. Forgetting that there is one more item he needs from this dungeon.
Yeah, any type of key shuffling can kind of mess with your brain if you're not very practiced in it. There's a lot of possibilities and new things you have to remember to be able to find what you need and make sure that you are actually in go mode.
Yeah, I also don't know how much these runners have played with small only key shuffle, which could also kind of throw them off.
So Korivain has 3 chests here that he can check right away. Small to Ganon's Tower, definitely welcome. And there it is, a sigh of relief probably coming from him. Yeah, if that had been in the Harmless Hellway, he would have been in trouble, because he would have to go out and find that last small key for Desert Palace.
Yeah,
not Palace of Darkness, I said.
Pod.
Pod. Yeah, even with hammering up, he could have done some extra checks, but if it was not there, then there would have been a lot of rage slashes, I'm sure.
And meanwhile, Eykir's just going through Skull Woods, which Korivain has already completed.
Having a quick look at that, he does have the keys to clear Palace of Darkness. He has everything he needs for Skull Woods. Those 2 keys is definitely enough. So
he doesn't have
what else?
Fire Rod yet, so he can't finish Skull Woods.
He's still right. He hasn't finished visited Catfish yet. And I think, yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and that's gonna probably be the big thing that makes a difference in this fight. Korivain now being in actual go mode.
That's Fire Rod at Catfish, and the fact that Korivain actually early checked Catfish.
Yeah, that really makes it so that he is definitely in the driver's position. It's his race to lose at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. With only Eastern Palace left, that's a relatively simple dungeon. The layout's not too bad. Eykir's only on 4 crystals. Yeah, 4 crystals, so he still needs 2.
Yeah. Now that's actually the first time I've seen somebody heard somebody refer to Eastern Palace as a fairly simple dungeon, because I would call it extremely simple personally, being the first dungeon of course the vanilla game.
Yes, but I just didn't want to call it a simple dungeon and then someone will do something, die in there or something else. So just being cautious.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I've died in there plenty of times, but I've accepted that I'm bad. Trust me, you would not have insulted me if you had said so.
And yep, right into Eastern as expected. He'll be finishing up and heading to GT soon.
And in the same time, Eykir is now going into Ganon's. Sorry, no, wow, you just said GT, and I have Ganon swimming in my head now. No, he's clearing Palace of Darkness, probably followed by Eastern Palace as well. But he's going to go and try and check everything he can because, of course, he is still looking for that Fire Rod. Korivain still taking the time to go to the right here, though. Needs that big key. And there it is. I mean, again, I was thinking go mode, so I'm thinking what do you all skip? But there are still things even in go mode that you have to find. You can't just try to rush that final door like he did in Palace of Darkness. And he's thinking to himself, no, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not gonna forget. I'm gonna get all my checks in before I go to that big door.
Yeah, I think he definitely doesn't want to do that twice. He doesn't know that he's in the lead, so he's probably worried about that, missing that big key the first time because it took quite a bit of time to get back.
Absolutely. There seems to be a bit of an issue with sound, apparently. So we're still getting the sound from the commentary, but the racer's sound is not coming through. There we go. Thank you for the fix. The red Eykir not playing nice. We do still have a small freeze here from Eykir, who is about to pick up the big key for Palace of Darkness. But there we go, he's doing the bomb jump now that we've got up, or he was trying to do the bomb jump, he did not quite get it. Going to be checking Harmless Hellway first. Oh wait, no, he already did.
Already, he's going back around.
Makes sense. It is much easier to do from here since you can reset the entire room through this door. As Korivain picks up his last crystal, meaning he will be making his way to Ganon's tower momentarily, unless I'm missing something.
No, he should be, so it's probably a good
Yeah.
time for us to mention a little game that we play.
Do we have anybody that can start the game?
Well, either
Oh.
way,
There we go. So, people, get your guesses in chat. What check will Korivain find the big key to Ganon's tower? I'm guessing 2. I was about to guess 1, but Lilithan beat me to it.
I'm gonna say 8. I'm not putting it in chat, but I'm just gonna say 8.
You're just gonna say 8. Alright. I just love if the players go to the left first and that big key's on that torch. It doesn't happen very often, since most players also go to the hope room first.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's called Hope Room. You're really hoping that big key's there.
I thought it was called hope room because you hope there's a small key there.
Well, that too. A big and a small. Could make
Well,
things really
if
easy.
big one, well, actually, if you have big and a small, then you can just go straight up, I guess.
Yep. Big and a small means that's the only room you have to check. Now, they already have the small, so now they're just hoping for a big. As Eykir is just finishing up pod here. Or actually, there's no big key on the tracker. Did he not? Oh no, wait. Right, we're not tracking that. I'm sure he picked it up.
Yeah, he picked it up. He was frozen for a moment while he was picking it up, so we didn't see him pick it up. And with that, Korivain's opening the tower so we can stop the game at this point. And some last minute second guesses in there before the game was stopped.
Great, so we'll see here. 1 is 50 rupees. 2 is bombs.
Well, Hope Room does not deliver.
No, that wasn't helpful at all.
You know, I've already lost. There it is! Yes! But he didn't go left first. In the meantime, Eykir is fighting Helmasaur. He'll be picking up his 5th crystal off of that. So congratulations to anybody that won with a guess of 3. I think he's gonna go pick up an extra small key. It's lying right there. I don't really see any other reason why he would go further.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking.
Oh, chat thinks he's looking for arrows.
Yeah,
Which makes sense. A lot of these chests tend to have junk in them, and in this case, junk is exactly what he's looking for. Another small key to Ganon's tower.
that's the game just telling you keep going.
Oh wait, no. Eykir ran out of arrows. Is that what happened there? I think I'm confusing what people were talking about between the two racers.
No, because there should be enough for him to complete everything. Korivain to complete everything. I don't know what he's. Does he? Aren't there arrows in that room? I thought the arrow required rooms in GT had arrows. The arrows are in the second room. Okay, so he needs 2 more arrows.
So both players getting bullied by arrow count here. Is that what's happening?
You know, when you want arrows to be in a chest, they're nowhere to be found. Every other time, they're everywhere. especially when you don't have the bow.
And even if he had 4 arrows, that would still be dangerous considering the fact that, well, even if you miss 1 arrow...
Yeah, don't miss.
Alright, so, in what chest will Korivain find arrows?
Yeah, that was good. Too bad we stopped counting.
Yeah, I mean, he checked 2 on the right, 3, that's 7, 8, I think this is check 9 through 12. So that's 12 checks. Yeah, I've never seen this before. Check it, clearing the bottom of Ganon's tower, 4 arrows. When he came here from Eastern Palace, and there's so many arrows towards the end of Eastern Palace.
Yeah, he could have just picked up some more while he was in there. It's probably the Armos fight did it.
Eykir now looking for that fire rod, because he's in full fire rod hunt mode, because both dungeons that he has to do require that. The question is, will he check first for catfish, or will he dip Turtle Rock? Alright, Korivain says, I have 17 arrows now, I am satisfied, let's go! The fire rod is on catfish. And Eykir deciding to actually go inside of Castle Tower looking for that fire rod.
I mean, it's not too long if he just comes in for these 2 chests.
I really don't think this is a troll from Korivain. He does not know that he is ahead at this point. So he just really needed arrows to get through this room.
Yeah, there's no way that he was just doing that to troll us, because there's no way for him to know how far ahead he is or behind he is.
And that dip into the castle tower didn't deliver anything. Of course, that first chest is really easily available.
Eykir's heading in the right direction.
Yes. Okay, he's got it. He's got it.
He's gonna see this fire rod and he's gonna be unhappy.
And this is sometimes why I miss the cameras that we had during SG Live. Seeing those reactions from these players, there was a bunch of clips made. It's wonderful. It's fun for us anyway as viewers.
Yeah, fun for us. Not so fun. Not so fun to be in this position for the runners. The thing is, he's going to be thinking, did Korivain check this earlier? Like, how much earlier could Korivain have checked it? And like, he could have checked it. You're looking. It's been an hour. We've had Dark World access for what, a half hour, and this is just Overworld.
More, I think, even. Yeah. And no matter what, any player in that position is gonna feel behind. Even if he had checked it earlier, players tend to always feel behind if they find something that they definitely needed in a location that could have been checked earlier. Even if it was only a little bit earlier, it's still going to make them feel behind.
Yeah, but this long, I think he probably feels extremely worried about being behind. Korivain having a little bit of issues with our Landmo 2 fight.
I don't think he wants to use Fire Rod just in case, because he doesn't have that half magic, so he wants to not run into trouble with that.
Yeah, conserving magic.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say conserving magic is a very good idea.
He still has a green potion, I'm fairly sure, but other than that, I don't think he has any left, because I think he used his red one. These rooms are so satisfying. I know a lot of commentators say it, but this is also one of the first things I learned about GT Climb to do it, and doing it yourself also feels very satisfying. Eykir did clear pod. I think. Wait, no. Now Okay, now I'm doubting myself.
No, I'm pretty sure he cleared pod.
All right.
This torch room can be a little fun sometimes as well.
Yeah, those Gyptos do not play around. They like to get up in your business. Thanks to his great key amount, he can of course ignore those mini Helmosaurs.
Yep. And we're gonna have Mothula on Eykir's side, and then we'll have our Moldorm 2 fight immediately afterwards.
Yeah, and with this, Eykir now has 6 crystals, so he'll make his way to Gannis Tower just as well. Moldorm taken care of very quickly. And absolutely, it's very easy to not know something if you're paying attention to one run and not the other one, which is why we want to give extra thanks to anybody that tracks. And this time, we have, I think it's Will WC who is tracking for. Yes, it is definitely Will WC who's tracking for us, and he's doing an amazing job. Especially with anything of kind of keys shuffled, it is extra hard. So it's always really helpful for us commentators that these players do such these people do such an amazing job to keep us in line.
Yeah, just a note.
Oh, sorry. Rallen Tankier is attacking for us. Sorry about that. And Will is restreaming. Also, without him, we wouldn't be able to do anything here.
So we got Korivain in the Aga. Ooh, yep, he got all 3 there.
That was a triple.
Nice.
Very nice.
These runners make this fight look pretty easy, but when you try to do it yourself, it's a lot more.
I'm so excited whenever I get a double. Let alone a trip. Like a double for me is reason to celebrate already.
So 5 rounds to finish it.
Yeah, with tempered, not having silvers is not really an issue, but of course he is missing his half magic. He has 8.5 hearts, so he can get hit. But he does not have a lot of safety, so he will have to be careful. And if he ends up using a lot of magic and ends up dying, he will have to go probably buy a potion before he can go back into the fight just for safety.
We just saw he actually has a blue potion, so that will be nice.
Oh, he does? Okay, good for him. I did actually. He must have stopped Biden when I was paying attention to Eykir.
I wonder if he did it after Catfish, because he was in the right area for it. Oh no, wait, sorry, Eykir was over there. Never mind.
No, and Korivain went over to Zora after Catfish anyway.
I was just thinking because Eykir was just literally just now a Catfish, so I had Catfish in my head.
Eykir probably feeling extremely behind. He's going for the towel room play. It looks like.
Yeah.
No. I'm kidding. He has keys. He can go to the right.
I mean, it wouldn't have been that far-fetched to just do tile room there with how late he picked up that fire rod. He may feel quite behind.
Even then, I still think it's not the right play. It's the chance of it is so small that it's never the right play. In the meantime, Korivain has gotten the torch glitch easily. Well, he made it look easy anyway, and is just spinning away at Ganon.
It's going to be 12 spins with Tempered. He can get at most 3 spins in a cycle before he has to light the torch. Though if he's doing it with a lamp, I believe it's only 2.
Does the time of that the torch is lit actually differ between lamp and fire rod?
No, but the thing is, if you use fire rod, you can position yourself closer to Ganon to get a hit in before he teleports that first time. Like here, he can't make it fast enough across the entire room to get that first hit in.
But yeah, I agree with what Vortex is saying in chat. He's playing it very safe. He's not taking any chances. He's going for the steady doubles and no more to not risk messing this up. Actually using the fire rod now. And that's it.
That's game.
Let's get some GGs in chat for Korivain.
So just looking over at Eykir's side, he's now making his way up the climb as well.
We have Eykir available for an interview, and we will probably be getting him in here momentarily. Because of course there is a delay on the stream, so he can already be here, even though it looks like he's running. And Korivain as well, so we'll get them in here momentarily.
That was a quick first room there.
And very nice use of the bow as well. Although the I-beam gets in the way.
Yeah, the requirement was.
Hello, we have I pulled you in, Korivain, for so I'm sorry if that was in the middle of a conversation, my bad. So we have Korivain here now joining us as Eykir is still finishing up on stream. So Korivain, GG's.
Thank you, thank you.
So right about, I'm just gonna ask, what are your thoughts that spring in your head right away, thinking about the race you just ran?
Super fast seed. I was hoping for something a little bit more in depth with my mystery seed. This ended up being really just standard mode with small keys shuffled, but it ended up being incredibly fast. I think I was in technically go mode at like 40 minutes or something. So I thought for sure that I was way behind, especially after making a couple of serious boo-boos, like being dumb and walking all the way through pod for no reason, and not having any arrows in Gannis Tower, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time watching you look for those arrows in GT.
We actually played a small arrow guessing game at that point.
I knew I should have just walked straight to where I knew the arrows were near the ice armos, but I was like, oh, maybe I can find them in the first couple chests, maybe, and then of course, no.
Yeah, so the reason that you were ahead at that point was Eykir did not check catfish for a very, very, very long time.
Oh.
Yes, that was definitely the biggest difference in this race, and because you guys were fairly close to each other, picking up your first, second, and third crystals all very close to each other, despite being from different dungeons. But well, after you both had 6, Eykir had to start hunting while you were just doing the quick double because you had already done Skullwoods.
Just giving Eykir now very quickly getting the Landmo 2 fight. Moldorm 2, I said Landmo. Ignore what I said.
In your head, it's also boss shuffle.
They're both worms.
Fair.
In a way. It's close.
And Eykir now heading into I got 2. Just kind of free fishing up that fairly smoothly, probably.
Geometry fight. No, oh, that was a nice 2.
So you, Korivain, you mentioned that you felt behind. Of course, the having to go back in Palace of Darkness because you didn't pick up the big key is one of the things. I'm not even. And let's talk about before you went to Ganon's Tower. So you said you felt behind already. Were there other things other than that really made you feel behind?
Just generally how quickly we got everything, and knowing the caliber of player that Eykir is, I knew that I was having an uphill battle against him execution-wise. So having gotten all the stuff super early, and then I hunted around, even though I knew I was technically in go mode. after the second pod key. At least most likely. But I still hunted around a little bit. And also, my deaths going up Death Mountain a couple times while I was trying to get that knowledge on the Gannis Tower, Crystal Count, stuff like that just made me feel like I was probably a little behind. But apparently not.
Yeah, the execution-wise, there were very few differences. The execution was very close between both you and Eykir, as far as I could tell anyway. Maybe a more expert eye could see more difference. But yeah, the Dead Rocks and the Cabbage on Death Mountain definitely not playing nice with you. But other than that, both you and Eykir did make that trip up the mountain for that count to see on Gannis Tower what it takes to get in. Because we were expecting you both to do it while you were there in the Dark Death Mountain anyway, but neither of you did.
Yeah, I was going to mention that when he got into chat too, that no one checked that GT sign the first time.
I am pretty notorious in Mystery for forgetting knowledge checks like that. Even though knowledge is power, and in Mystery Siege you need to know that stuff, I completely face it. I have a habit also of skipping Hype Cave when I'm going to check the pyramid for knowledge as well, just because I get single point, like I'm thinking about the knowledge that I need and I just completely bypass stuff that's on the way. But this time I didn't think.
Well, glad you didn't do that indeed. That bombo's definitely useful to have.
Eykir now just finishing up his GT fight. Got the torch glitch, and with his half magic, this will be a lot simpler.
Where was the half magic, by the way? I was looking for it.
Hammer stumps.
Ah, of course.
And
he
the
did
Smiths had a
this
sword.
Smith chain. Yeah, he did this Smith chain with the sword, which is where he did hammer pegs.
So yeah, so he picked up all 4 swords, of course, getting rupees for the 4th sword because you were in hard mode item sets.
Yes, I was super worried early game when that first 20 rupee came up, and I was really scared we were in swordless. And only a few minutes later, the first sword came up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, no, never mind. It's just hard mode. We're fine."
Even in normal mode, there should have been 220 still for the flute and the boots.
Oh, I didn't think about that because I'm used to playing on the ladder, where casual boots will still have a boots in the item pool.
So you can, I didn't know that you could find boots while you're wearing boots. Well, you need 2 boots actually for if you're thinking about it. And let's get some GGs in chat for Eykir, who has finished up his Ganon fight very smoothly, just a little bit later. And I will be pulling him in here as well.
GG.
Hello Eykir, GGs.
GG's. Korivain.
Absolutely, GG, man.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question, Eykir, that I asked Korivain. Your first thoughts about that come into your head about this seed. What's going on?
Well, so much stuff early on. I blitzed just to see what the goal was. I saw 5. I'm like, cool. As long as I don't need Fire Rod, I'm in go mode. And then I neglected to look at what Ganon's Tower needed when I got the hammer. So I'm back up there to do Hera and saw 6. Crap, I need the Fire Rod. And then it was just whoever found Fire Rod first was probably going to win that one. It was not me.
It was not you indeed, and there was actually a large difference in the timing with Korivain finding that fire rod very early, actually. So he was able to clear Skullwoods and Thief's Town back to back.
I mowed a lot of other dungeons. I did pod like 3 times. That cleared ice. Yeah, that fire rod early. You could just go mode everything.
Still, of course, Keys holding that go mode a bit back, but we were talking about exactly that, what you were saying very early. There was so many items, so that keys were really the big thing holding you back from just going into every dungeon that there was.
I had a lot of small keys, so I thought I could clear a lot of it. I'm sure Korivain felt the same way.
We got so many small keys early. I was getting so mad at all the chests I was opening and finding nothing but small keys in Escape and Thieves or in Village.
3 for Meyer gave us all 4 for Turtle Rock. We didn't need any of them.
So now, this is the end of week 5 for you guys. Happy to be done with Mystery, or do you like these kind of modes?
Mystery, although I was the only one on my team hoping for a Triforce Hunt, and everybody else got one.
No.
Yeah, you're
I would have liked the Triforce Hunt too.
Well, both of you wanted the Triforce Hunt. Actually, I've heard very few people wanting to actually have Triforce Hunt.
I like Triforce Hunt. I don't know what all the hate's about.
I don't either. I enjoy them.
Well, it's a difference in taste, of course. Everybody enjoys different game modes, I guess, and then going into next week, we have all dungeons, key sanity, I think it was.
Yeah.
Solo with no spoiler log. Are you guys going to be racing or leave that up to your teammates?
My teammates will be racing for that one, so I'm taking the week off.
I am also taking the week off. My teammates will be doing that one. They both love that.
Yeah, we're going to be
format,
expecting.
So.
Sorry?
So they both love that format, so I'm leaving it for them.
Yeah, those are going to be some of those longer races, 2 to 3 hours, because they have to check almost everything, of course. And as for your teams, with this win, Link finds a way is not that far behind. How are your hopes going into the next weeks to maybe still potentially grab that second spot?
Yeah, I think we're sitting pretty much right in the middle of our section, and it's going to be tough. I do feel confident about the next couple of weeks. We got, next week our other two runners are pretty good, and it's a good seed. Enemizer, I'm looking forward to a lot. If we can pull out, 3 or 4 wins, and the top spots don't do as well, maybe, then it's possible. That was an incredibly fast seed. I think I was in go mode.
Well, you just held one of the top spots back. 16-bit Nurse, you're tied for first place with We Need a Mentor. But you've also got one other team right behind you guys, so it's going to be a tough struggle to keep those first 2 spots because only the first 2 teams go into the playoffs. How do you, Eykir, feel about going into the next week?
I think we got some strong runners next week. I think we can win those ones. The tough week's going to be the last week where we play We Need a Mentor. So that top spot's going to be up for grabs that week 7.
Yeah, that might just be a very important week for the entire division, the fact that you 2 teams are facing against each other.
Depending on what our records are after next week, and then, maybe somebody can sneak up there and take a second place from one of us.
Should be a good time to watch either way.
Yeah, Korivain, grab your chance and sneak in there while they're fighting amongst themselves. All right. Do you guys have any? If you have any other questions, Etno, for our runners?
I mean, you asked everything that I was thinking, so unless chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
All right. Do you guys have any other closing thoughts that you want to say?
Nothing
Thank
much.
you.
GG, Eykir. And thanks to all of you, commentators, trackers, restreamers. You guys are the real MVPs.
Well, I appreciate the comment, but I really want to bounce that back to you guys. You guys are what this race and what this stream is all about. We're glad to do this. I really enjoy commentating and being able to watch these races. There's so many of them. The schedule has come up on stream, so everybody, as you can see, there's plenty more content. Today, we have one stream that is underway on Speed Gaming 3, and there will be one more at 2:10 p.m. on Speed Gaming 3 as well. And there's a couple more races that have been undecided if they will be streamed exactly. At 5:10 there is on the ALTTPR League 1 Channel 1. And then next week we kick off with the next set is all dungeons, key sanity, solo with no spoiler log. So there's going to be some long matches. So plenty for us to see as well. So thank you all for watching, and I want to thank as well again Will WC here for restreaming, as well as Ral and Tangir for tracking, because they also make it possible. Without them, we would miss way too much. And I want to thank you, Zetno, for being here with me today.
Yeah, thanks to you too, and to anyone here. Don't forget to follow the runners. Their Twitches were posted in chat right at the end of the game.
And give our commentators and trackers a follow as well. It's always definitely appreciated. And from here in the commentating booth, I wish you all a very good day and a very good night wherever you are. And see you in the next race.